Previously on Dandies in Danger.
So, Zachery, you feel a breath on your neck.
No!
You feel some very cold fingers just under your jaw. Your vision gets cloudy.
Stop.
And the din around you blends into one homogeneous sound. You feel like you're being moved somewhere far away.
No, stop.
And you start to hear bells. Liam and Charles, let's go back to that.
Okay.
You lunge at him. Your sword continues up and hits him right in the left shoulder. And you win! The Manus is bumped so much that he actually lets go, and immediately you are back.
Zachery,
like a shock.
just bolts.
That was an excellent match, sir. I am offering the handkerchief.
He kind of snatches the handkerchief from you and wipes his face and hands it back. And he says, "Good match, Banka." And now you have the sweat of a knight.
I think we really should be going now. Maybe we should get a breath of fresh air up at the cemetery.
And then you kind of quickly make your way out, and then you're on the grounds.
Zachery, what happened?
Manus, I think he suspects something of me. He tried to put me under.
Under a spell?
I don't know, and I don't know if he's going to tell anybody.
Did he hurt you, Zach?
No, he didn't hurt me. First, we need to find that entrance.
Are you ready to continue on to the cemetery, Zach?
Ready as we'll ever be, he
All right.
says.
Lead the way, Mr. Wilkins.
Hi, my name is Elijah. My pronouns are he, him, and I play the voice of Zachery Wilkos.
Hey, I'm Cass, pronouns she, her, and I'm voicing Liam Bardsley.
Hi, I'm Chess, pronouns he, she, they, and I voice Daniel Pritchard.
I am Toast, pronouns are she, they, and I play the voice of Adrian Edwards.
Okay, last we left off, Liam and Zachery are on the church grounds, so you're outside. Liam just won a fencing match against a squire and then also against a knight. Zachery was able to communicate what happened with the Manus, and you guys wanted to check out the cemetery.
Yeah, that's correct.
The cemetery stretches out in mostly level ground with healthy green grass. There are tombstones, monoliths, and statues of the Virgin Mary, of Jesus Christ, and of various saints. The sheer amount of monoliths creates the illusion of clustered trees in a crowded forest, all straining to reach higher than the other, as if this alone guaranteed one's path into heaven. Each monument is more elaborate than the next, some conveying Mary and her sweet bab the Christ, the stone smooth and seemingly soft as flesh, others supporting flocks of angels mid-flight, held high by strips of stone cloth. No doubt this is a place where only the richest are buried. And this is no wonder, for even before the activity of the hunters was made public, it had always been considered an immense honor to land one's remains within the walls of the Holy Church of the Eternal Knighthood, though there is never any telling how long they will remain there. Among the accountants and various administrators in Zachery's office, rumors are passed around that the bodies are gutted from their eternal sleep and drained of their blood, for the church libraries have made it known that one way to trap a vampire and prevent its transformation into mist or into bats is to pump it with dead man's blood. And the church has its fresh supply of corpses' blood to be harvested, much like the wood of its orchard or the herbs from its garden. Despite this unsettling knowledge, or supposition, this is one of the only graveyards in which Zachery finds peace, there being countless wards and protections from spirits, making this ground comfortably unhaunted. The afternoon sun caresses the cheeks of lifelike stone figures and paints the trees and flowers in a golden light, such as might make one believe in the very presence of heaven. Indeed, as long as there were no people with whom to interact, the cathedral could at times be a very beautiful place. Would you like to do perception rolls?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I got a 17. Do I count any wisdom or no?
Yeah, add your wisdom.
Okay.
Well, I mean, please do, because I got a
23.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well,
You trip over a tombstone.
What is this place?
Liam catches the afternoon sun in his eyes and kind of like shields his eyes and doesn't perceive anything. Zach, you see 2 gardeners tending to the graves. They don't look terribly buff, so these are probably not the people who dig the graves.
Okay, so they're just kind of like the ones who...
the place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they kind of help keep the upkeep of it, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Clean the stones, trim the grass.
Okay. So there are 2 people here. Liam is blind.
Just transfixed. You can't stop looking at the sun.
The statues are beautiful. The sun is blinding.
Zachery gently nudges Liam and very quietly and secretly, as if he's like actually just flicking something from his face, points to the gardeners.
Mm-hmm.
He continues in one direction. He's sort of looking around, but he's also just getting closer to the 2 gardeners anyway, just sort of meandering in that direction.
Okay. One of them's over to your left, the other's to the right.
Okay.
This place is very big. Quite an impressive array of statues and tombstones.
Could Zachery see anything about these 2 tenders? Like, is one of them old? Is one of them young? Any other, like, defining characteristics about them?
You can't quite see them. They're both wearing hats. They're kind of far away.
That's fine. Are they at least out of earshot of these 2 tenders?
Definitely.
Okay. He turns to Liam and he says, if there is a path that leads down further into the church, I imagine it would be well hidden as perhaps a mausoleum.
I hadn't considered that, but that would make sense. Well, how are we going to find it? There's no end of mausoleums here.
It's true. He thinks about it a moment. The tenders would probably have some idea as to the activity of the mausoleums, if any are visited more than the others. If one mausoleum is visited more than the others, one can safely assume that could be the passage.
That's a decent idea. Do you have any plans on how to get that information from them?
Well, you being such a socialite, I thought perhaps you'd strike up a conversation.
I'll give it a go. Do you think we should try to get a little pinch of hair or something while we're at it?
Why?
For
Disguises.
Right.
For Daniel or Adrian.
Sorry.
It's not just a new pastime of mine, Zachery.
He's tasted the thrill.
He's a hair collector now.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to drop everything and go into wig making.
He nods, sort of hitting his palm against his forehead like, right. I was so caught up in the fencing, I thought we had already gotten everything. Yes, I can't imagine that would be Well, no, we have to be very particular about what we're getting, and it wouldn't make sense for one of the tenders to be seen in the lowest part of the church.
Do you want to perceive them? Get a little closer and then do perception rolls.
Yeah, let's do one more sort of perception roll. Zachery kind of leads him a bit closer to the left one.
Okay.
As he's sort of pointing out the grave, making it seem like he's pointing out important names.
You can add your wisdom.
16.
I got a 14. So 1 success, 1 moderate.
Okay. You both notice that this person is not very built.
Okay.
And probably couldn't haul bodies around.
Well, I guess you have a point there, Zach. I suppose we'll just see if we can get any information out of them.
Right.
All right.
Off you go.
Tromp, tromp, tromp. Liam walks over.
Zachery follows him, of course.
To strike up a conversation with this person that was on the left.
Okay,
Afternoon?
This middle-aged man turns around and looks at you, and he's
37. I'm not old.
I'm 37.
Sorry.
Fuck it, he's 37, which is not middle-aged. And he's wearing a hat, and he's just got some brown clothes on, and he's tending to some flowers around a particular grave. And he stands up. Afternoon.
How do you do?
They look around as if like, what are you doing here? Afternoon, sir.
Oh, pardon.
Were you looking for a family member?
Actually, well...
Zachery steps forward to give introductions. Sorry to bother you. This is Mr. Bardsley from Bardsley Bank. He's a prospective investor here, and he had some questions about the grounds.
Oh.
There's no pressure, he says. It's just simple questions about the area, how well maintained it's kept, and that sort of a thing.
Oh, I see.
Sorry to
He does look like you're judging him.
Liam jumps in. Sorry to interrupt you from your work. You've done a marvelous job here. Out of all of the places I've been in London, these flowers, this landscaping, it's some of the best I've ever seen. This is absolutely beautiful.
Give me a d20 roll, but add your influence.
Okay. Only 12.
Ah, okay. He doesn't quite buy it.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks you're just flattering him. But he
okay.
says thank you.
Would it be too much trouble to ask you a few questions while I'm here?
He looks around and then he kind of puts his tools down and he says, I suppose not.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. I do appreciate you taking the time out. I was just wondering, this place, it's fantastic. Is there anyone famous buried here?
Yes, actually. We have
Do you want to think of some people?
Jonathan Winters. What's the first name that came to...
Great voice actor.
An amazing actor.
Surprisingly dead.
Very, very dead and in the past.
But had a really good career after he died. Proving that you could do anything.
You can do anything.
You really set your mind. Never let little roadblocks like death get in your way.
Yes, we have Jonathan Winters here.
You can say Christian Winters.
He's over there.
They buried him with a sound booth. So.
It's quite incredible. Is that what the statue is? It's very strange looking. I couldn't quite identify what it was.
You don't say, Jonathan Winters.
No, we're not. We're going again.
We also have an
Stupid.
Ethan Winters.
Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Not many hands, that one. He named some famous people.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Some people you haven't heard of,
Okay.
because they're maybe not in your circle.
They're from Canada.
Some Canadians
A
here.
couple of Canadians randomly buried, and then
No, strangely enough, everyone he mentions sounds very, very English.
Okay. That's marvelous.
Not
Well,
even Irish or Scottish or
Mhm.
Welsh.
oh, okay,
interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, makes sense.
yeah.
When can guests come in to visit their family members?
Usually when Mass is open. Tomorrow evening.
Well, that makes sense. Do any of these graves see more traffic than the others throughout the week?
Well, Jonathan Winters is pretty popular.
Oh my god.
Should I be rolling persuasion/influence
Yes.
on that question?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Good luck, me. I used up all of my luck last session.
No.
Good fucking luck.
No,
for us
you
this
got this.
Believe.
Believe.
Bleep.
time. I got a nat 1.
Okay.
Okay.
He
That's
says
it,
the
that one.
Jonathan Winters
Okay.
statue is very popular.
All right. That's marvelous. Is there anywhere that you would recommend?
Just plowing ahead.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Is there anywhere that you would recommend us to visit, or is there anywhere where I should particularly avoid visiting while I'm here? Is there anywhere in the cemetery that's off limits?
None that I can think of.
Right, as I said, Mr. Bosley, thank you very much for your time, says Zachery, and he starts leading Liam away.
He kind of tips his hat at you and he gets back to work.
Well, that was a wash.
That's alright, I doubt he knew too much anyway.
Should we try the other one? Do you think, are we out of earshot? Is the other person down to the right out of earshot of this?
Yeah, it's a big cemetery and they're kind of on
Okay.
the other side.
Well, let's try again, I suppose.
Can Zachery really quick roll another perception just to look around at the...
Yes.
Does he, just on a general glance, does he see any mausoleums? Or
And-
should I just...
And add your wisdom.
Okay. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Not very good.
Okay. You see, because you got a 22, you see kind of, there is the main path and then you also see quite a few footsteps on, between tombs. You see a bit of a
Okay.
man-made walked-on grass path.
Zachery gently pats Liam's elbow and then points to the ground.
Well spotted, Zachery.
Thank you. Shall we? And
Yes, let's.
They follow it.
So you follow this man-beaten path, and it actually leads outside of the cemetery, and it leads right to the bell tower.
To the bell tower, you
The-
say?
Bell tower.
The bell tower, which is right beside the cemetery,
Oh.
at the other end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Zachery looks over at Liam and then looks to the bell tower.
The bell tower shares an architectural style with the cathedral, ornate and impressive. A square base extends to the sky in a formidable tower, atop which a dome and a small clock face are erected, bearing a cross above all else. A good number of pigeons bicker and adjust their feathers on various ledges, leaving their white and grey droppings on this bold creation, God's answer to the art of man.
Zachery looks at it very thoughtfully. He looks at the door.
The grass-beaten path leads inside of the bell tower.
Fascinating. So the bell tower's door is currently closed, right?
It's open.
It's open.
It has 4 little open archways that remain open always at the very bottom.
All right.
And then there's a huge spiral staircase that goes up.
Okay, he walks in.
The interior of the bell tower is decorated with 4 carved faces surrounded by stone wings.
Oh,
one of a bull, an eagle, a lion, and a man.
Cherubim.
Yeah. A spiral staircase bounces off each wall and leads up to an absolutely dizzying height, where presumably the bells that toll each hour reside. Do you want to make a perception roll?
Yes, I do. That was
Yeah.
my next question. Question.
Both of you, and add your wisdom.
18.
Wow, damn. That's pretty. You got a 16?
I got an 18.
Oh, an 18?
Yeah.
Man, you're doing great. Your little eyeballs are working so good. I only got an 11.
Okay.
You got a lot of sweat in your eyes from the last
Yeah.
fight. You're tired.
Liam is tired.
I would be like
You'd be
fucking
exhausted.
like 5 rounds for each fight.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
Yeah, Liam's played 10 rounds. Liam is very tired, so he notices that it's made of stone, and he sees the 4 faces.
Mhm.
And
He's like, oh, cherubim.
yeah, he comments that. What does Zachery say to that?
Bless you.
Zachery, no knowledge of any of this. Zachery, what are you staring at in particular? Are you staring at any of the particular stone faces?
What catches my eye? There's a bull, there's a man, there's a
lion and an eagle.
A lion and an eagle.
Or at least their faces. And then there are wings coming off of that faces. Like a little...
Yeah, like the wings coming off the faces.
It's
like
a little
they're just
insignia kind of thing on the wall.
Oh, okay.
You notice that they are eye level
Oh, they're all eye level.
on the walls.
Okay.
Or a little taller than your eye level because you're short.
Are they 3D or are they more like inlaid?
They're 3D.
Okay.
Are the wings coming out or are they just
The
textured?
wings are they've got
Like-
a little bit of a bump to them, but they're attached to the wall.
They're
Okay.
like embossed.
I think I know what they're all pressed against the wall, but they're like out. So
Yes,
they're 3D.
yes.
Okay.
So it's not
Yes.
like, you were thinking like, it's not like a little lever you can pull on one of the wings or
Yeah,
something.
correct.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no,
it's
no,
not
no.
like that.
Is
no,
there
they're attached to the wall.
so these faces are not on a single wall, they're on the parts that make the archway?
They're in the corners,
Oh, they're in
which
In
are
corners.
corners of the room.
the corners. You're technically in an octagon, but its corners are so like small that it mostly looks like a square.
Okay.
But technically, there is like a little flat edge for these faces to sit in the corners at eye level.
Okay. So I'm gonna have Zachary's I don't know why, but the bull is really calling to me.
Okay, are you gonna look at the bull?
Yes. Should I roll?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking at the bull 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
The bull is super attached to the wall
Mm.
and immovable.
Very much in a...
I try the lion.
Can-
Is that- It's at the England thing. They took the lion.
That's not a bad idea.
Or the man.
Once Liam sees Zach looking at the bull in particular, can he go check out another one?
Yeah, you can look at a different one.
I'd like to look at the human. The human
Okay.
man.
Liam goes to look at the human. You can roll perception.
I thought you were just gonna tell me.
Mm,
Add your wisdom.
Fuck. Okay, got an 8. I
He's
told
tired.
you. I told
We
you.
gotta get you
he's
some
exhausted.
Gatorade.
You notice that the man has curly hair.
Okay, that's great. Pretty.
Yeah, Zachary's gonna try the lion.
Okay.
I have a specific question about the eyes, which can be answered after the perception rolls, but are the pupils of the eyes, are they... Because sometimes they'll carve them with, like, to look more dark, they'll just carve out where the pupils are. Are
Yes.
the pupils carved out?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have Zachary look into the pupils of these statues, too.
Okay.
19.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't need that.
For you're looking at the lion.
I am looking at the lion, yeah.
It does have those carved out pupils. It's got curly hair. It is very attached to the wall.
So he's even feeling it and everything, like he's trying to figure it out.
Every piece of it feels immovable.
Okay.
Mm.
And then he immediately whips around to look at the eagle.
Okay.
Like a madman.
You want to look at the eagle?
Why don't we both take a look at the eagle
let's-
and then you go back over and look at the man again because
Unless we find something interesting with the eagle. 18.
I finally got a 19.
Oh, okay. You both notice that the eagle is also extremely attached to the wall. Every piece is immovable. It does have carved out pupils.
Can we... Okay, so... But it's shallow, carved out pupils. It's nothing.
They're shallow.
Okay.
They're shallow and small.
I'll go say, that other face over there had curly hair rather like Charles did.
Zachary looks at him.
That's all Liam could perceive.
I'll go have a look.
There you go. There's a non-meta reason for you to go look at the human.
Wow, I can't wait to see this weird face in the wall that looks like Charles.
He goes and he looks at the human.
Roll good.
Liam, you can roll again if you want, if you follow him.
Oh, 18.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
This man has the carved out pupils as well, but they're also shallow. But strangely, around the edges, you can see it's actually not fully attached to the wall.
Oh, Liam, have a look at this.
And you see a bit of a curved scrape to the left side of it, as if it could be moved on a hinge.
I think we found the path. Uh-huh.
Is there anyone else around?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Zach, you go stand over by the door. I'm going to give it a try.
Okay.
Keep a watch out. Make sure, give me a little tap, our triple tap on the ground if somebody's coming.
He gives you a very, serious nod, and he goes to be lookout. Careful, Liam. He also says.
Okay, I want to do it. I want to...
Come on, strong boy.
You don't have to roll for it.
Okay.
Liam places his hands on the head, and it moves pretty easily. It's a little heavy because it is stone, but he is able to move it and reveal a small circular indent, a depression that has a very specific design in it, which is Saint Michael with 6 wings, piercing with a long spear, a bat-like, wolf-like creature inside of a circle.
Can I push it? Can I put a finger on it?
You can put your finger on it. Nothing happens because it seems like something fits in the depression. Something circular, about 2.5 inches in diameter. And with that particular insignia on it.
Okay.
Liam is the only one seeing this right now.
Okay. I'm gonna, if there's nothing else of note about this particular thing, then I'm gonna go back to Zach and describe what you just described.
This sounds familiar to Zachery. Do you want to get a look at it?
Yeah, he's gonna go over to it.
And this seems vaguely familiar to you because you have to make an official stamp on anything involving hunters with a very similar design. Do you want to go look at it and see if it's the same design?
Yeah, he's gonna go over and have a peek.
Okay, Zach struggles a little bit to open it because Zach's a bit weaker, but he opens it and you do see this is exactly the stamp that you apply to all hunters' documents.
Would I know just from looking at it? So when you say a stamp, is it like a seal that I press into it? It's a metal seal that I use to dunk and then...
It makes kind of like an imprint in the paper, kind of like official judge.
Oh, I understand.
stuff.
Okay, so
It creates a bump in paper, and you kind of stamp it that way.
Are those stamps clearly bigger than the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so my stamps would not work.
No.
Okay.
But you know it has something to do with hunters. And roll perception for me.
You got it. 21.
You see on the very top of this circle, there is a smaller circle, as if you were to hang it on something, like a necklace.
I see. Okay, so what that is implying is that this is something that the hunters wear. Press up against it, and then something happens.
And then something happens.
Zachery steps back and he looks at Liam and he goes, okay, so we did get some bit of sweat from a hunter. Now we just need his stuff. This is going to be hard.
Was there anything in Maggot's book that would have been useful for this? Is there anything that can unlock hidden places?
Well, probably, he says. Yeah, probably, that could work.
Adrian and Daniel are more familiar with the book at this point, but you could go home to reconvene and talk out plans with everybody.
Yeah.
Zach, do you know if there's anywhere where the hunters equip themselves for the day?
Yeah, don't they have... They should have, a changing sort of locker area, don't they?
They have... The floors 4 and 5 are specifically designated as hunters' floors, and Zachery has no knowledge of what's on those floors, really.
Okay. Yeah.
But he assumes everything they need is there.
He conveys this information that he has never been down there personally, but he does assume that that's possibly where they keep their things.
I just have no idea how we would get a hold of something like that unless we had an ally on the inside who was willing to give it to us. Or I suppose if I'm very careful in how I carry myself tomorrow, I could pretend to have lost one.
Well, there is that one person we saw who was a part of the... He looks around. Illicit card game that we were privy to.
There is that.
They do work here, and if they're anything like Me, they might not have the best relationship with the church.
You mean blackmail?
No.
Zachery's like, akin. Like, someone like me. Liam, blackmail.
No. I mean, we could just try talking to them first, my goodness.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you meant, since we saw them at the card game, but they didn't see us.
I mean, we can use that. Keep that on the back burner. That's good. I like your energy and your spark. That's very good. But let's try the friendly route first. We don't want to make enemies within the church already.
Good point. Where did we see them last?
At your dueling arena.
Oh, I see.
Downstairs. With the Manus.
Oh.
They went with the Manus, but...
Well, it would be rather risky business going back in there whenever someone has your number.
Exactly. And I also work here. This is horrible.
Is there any way you could track down who that was through your records, Zach?
I mean, yes, probably. I mean, well, I handle a lot of the paychecks of the hunters. Can I roll to see if that would be a thing?
You don't have to roll for it.
Yeah.
Zachery has access to literally everyone who gets paid. It's just a question of, like, what is this person's job? You don't know.
She? Oh, okay. So I have no idea based on how she's dressed or anything.
No, they're just in a Victorian gown. Not gown, but like a dress. Just a working class dress.
Super cool and fun.
Well, okay, are there many people who would be wearing that uniform working with the church? Or would that be much less common? Would it be like narrowed down to maybe like 3 people? Or is it like, oh, it's a whole bunch?
It's not very common for women to work at the church.
That was the other thing I was thinking, is if we just go through the names, but it would be so much easier to know what department she worked in.
You don't know.
Fucking
All you know is that they have access to the 4th floor somehow.
Okay.
But it is a big clue that they are perceived as a woman. Their paycheck is processed as a woman.
Okay.
Because there's not many women in the church.
Nurses.
Possibly.
Zachery thinks and goes, I don't know where this person works. However, it can be assumed, possibly, that somebody who works in the hospital clinic area.
The hospital is near the cemetery, which is really great.
Yeah. My thinking is that they would also have access to lower floors if they needed somebody down there to take bodies out or maybe keep something alive.
So what are you getting at here, Zach?
She clearly has access to the lower floors. She might be medical staff. I don't see why food staff would have access to the lower floors. Let's see if we can just take a very quick tour through the hospital. Obviously not, well, trying to go into the emergency room as best as we can. But let's just see if she's there or ask around about her.
That sounds good. Adrian would be rather pleased if we found a doctor for him to impersonate.
He nods.
Yeah, let's go check it out. We're
Okay.
checking out the hospital.
Hospital, please.
All
Where
right.
to keep all the horses?
The hospital is a large stone building, around 63 feet by 33 feet in dimension, decorated with those familiar animals: bull, eagle, lion, and man. I assume you guys go to the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
No,
going
we
inside.
climb in through a window.
You start to smell alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, and some other like cleaner kind of smells. And there are guards at the door. Some big burly men.
Okay.
The
Liam
doors,
does not hesitate.
the doors are closed as
Okay.
well.
Go on.
Yeah, Liam does not hesitate. Liam walks up. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
I'm here. My good friend here, Mr. Wilkins, is taking me through on a tour. My name is Mr. Liam Bardsley, and I'm here representing Bardsley Bank. Would you mind if I had a look inside to see your clinic?
I'm afraid investors are not shown the hospital. It is rather gruesome at times.
I would have a thicker stomach than you might guess.
Do you want to add your influence?
Yes.
Do a roll.
Yeah, I got a 15. I guess that still counts as a moderate success.
The one you're talking to seems a bit amused and kind of like smirks a little. Says, "Oh, do you? So you've seen bones sticking out of skin then?"
I've seen some of my own sticking out of skin before.
Do you want
Fell out
to
of a tree once.
do another
Yeah.
influence roll?
No.
What was it?
It's only 9 altogether.
Oh, yarf.
Balls.
He doesn't really seem convinced.
I don't know if I...
Well, I was really hoping to get in to take a look around at your facilities to really gauge where our money would be going. And I promise I would not interfere with any of the doctors. I wouldn't go into any of the operating rooms. Who would I ask for the appropriate permission to come in here? I just, I was in a duel with some of the hunters earlier, and I could maybe have a word with them. What's your name, by the way?
They scoff at this, the idea that you could be in a duel with a hunter.
Yes, I was.
They weren't there.
It was, what was his name? It was Charles Wickham. He fought very well, but,
Lost. Smiles Zachery slightly, but then he hides the smile.
His expression changed when you mentioned Charles Wickham, and in fact the other one kind of looked over at you guys too.
I could go ask him if I have permission to enter here. And what was your name as well?
Todd.
Todd Howard?
Habisher.
Sweeney Todd.
Todd Sweeney.
The other one didn't think you were addressing him, so he says nothing.
He said, and what about you as well? He, turned to him. Sorry, that was probably not apparent, but he turned to him and he's like, what about you as well?
What's it to you?
Well, just so that I can refer your name whenever I talk to Charles Wickham again.
Oh, you have his. He says, and he smirks, looking at his idiot partner, who revealed his name.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Bardley. I've processed their paychecks. I'd be able to make sure that you get the proper names.
Ooh.
They both kind of look at Zach.
Shit.
Sort of looks back at them.
Do it. Yeah, Zach.
Well, it is important when an investor asks. I'm not able to really refuse.
Can you guys both roll influence?
Yeah.
Nice. Do we get to help?
plus influence.
Do we get to help each other?
7, 8. It's just an 8. They're gonna call their friends. Bullies after school are gonna come and put me on the flagpole. I'm gonna die. Because I got cocky.
I got a 15. Okay.
They're getting annoyed by you. And then Todd comes over to his partner and they whisper a little bit about some stuff.
Zachery taps his foot. We should probably be on our way. Thank you very much for your help, he says, and he starts leading Liam away.
You're gonna have to peek in the window after all.
Yeah, I think so.
The windows are all very high.
Fuck. Zach on your shoulders.
You could. There's no one around except for the guys at the front.
Yeah.
Who we
okay.
just cheesed
can we,
off.
Can
you
we go?
could just
we go
stand
around
on
the
each
side?
other.
Yeah, go around.
Oh my god, okay. Yeah, but I do want Liam to...
Like a couple of delinquents?
Yeah, but
Come on!
Come on, guys! Come on! I do want Liam to talk to Zach about this first before just seizing him and lifting him up Simba style, going, can you see?
Of course he would.
Shall we take a peek in through the windows?
How is it so high?
Liam, puts his hand out as if to cup Zach's foot.
Is this a proposal?
Come on, Zach, you don't weigh a little bit of anything.
What? He scoffs and then he straightens out his clothing and he looks around and he goes, okay, but be quick. He says, and he climbs onto Liam's shoulders. Sorry about the mud, he says.
Do get a little bit of dirt on Liam's shoulders, but nothing he can't brush off.
Okay.
And Zach, if you strain, you can just peek over one of the windows, and you're holding it as well to kind of help boost you up.
Nice. Do I see any familiar faces?
You do not.
Mother
Son of
of...
a...
You see pretty much all of the hospital staff, and your friend is not among them. But you also see some horrible scenes and a lot of blood. And you can hear what you were hearing earlier, which is painful moans. One man keeps screaming.
This is not sort of out of line with a lot of the ghosts and the gruesome things that Zachery sees anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's unpleasant, and he makes a face at it, and he does go, all right, that's enough. And he, gets down from Liam. It's not terribly out of line for him, though.
Mm-hmm. He's got a pretty strong stomach.
The only thing he tells Liam is that no dice, essentially.
Damn, what do we do now?
It's around 4 now, and Zach usually goes home at 5.
I have about an hour until I leave, he says, and I shouldn't probably stay any longer, given that now someone is... He's just angry.
Are you going to be alright coming back here again?
Well, he thinks about it. He's genuinely not sure. I want to say yes, and keep a stiff upper lip, but it's not a good thing that Amanus suspects me, and I also don't know if he's spoken to anybody else. I don't know if we've already ruined everything simply because I opened a door, he says, his fist squeezing shut very, very tightly. Nails kind of biting slightly into the skin, and he releases it in the next moment, and he goes, but I'm sure at least things will work out for tomorrow.
Well, Zach, I know it's not the same, it's not warded, but you've warded your house before, and, well, if you can't be an accountant here anymore, my family does happen to own a bank, and I'm sure we could set up an office for you with some of your own personal wards in the future if things don't pan out today.
He stares at you. He's wide-eyed and shocked, and he sort of shakes it off in the next moment and goes, I suppose that, thank you, Liam, yes, that could work.
Oh,
He seems so much more relieved.
Ha-ha!
it always helps when you have someplace to go if things fall apart.
Yeah.
So as we walk away from the hospital, Liam's going to count off on his fingers. So what we'll have to do before we leave is we have to find out about the person whose hair you grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what that person's name is, what their rank is, possibly if they seem willing to help us. And then the other thing we might look into is the kitchen. We mentioned that earlier, how we might be able to get something from the staff, which would enable either Adrian or Daniel to disguise themselves and sneak in with us.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, perhaps we could even change halfway through our mission if we need to avoid detection later on. Like if somebody sets out the alert to be watching out for a doppelganger who looks like Charles, for instance, if we're able to change into somebody else halfway through, that might give us a better escape. So let's check out the kitchens.
Okay.
This brick building billows wood fire, smoke, and appetizing smells. Its design is quite medieval, not as old as the cathedral, but it is a building that has been here a very long time. If anyone were to enter the grounds with architectural knowledge, they might be able to prove that the hunters had been here for far longer than advertised. Then again, they would have to enter.
So the objective here is to get some DNA from the kitchen staff?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There are 2 large swinging doors on the north side of it.
Right. Here we have the kitchen, he says, and he opens it and sort of walks in.
It opens. Mostly women here. Do you want to do a perception roll?
Yes, please.
Me too.
19.
Yeah, that's a success, all right. 15.
A lot of women have their backs to you, so you can't tell if your friend is here or not. But you do see that elevator, and it is big enough for 3 bodies and more. You could easily bring some angels through there.
Sounds good.
Also, this place isn't terribly guarded.
But now hold on, because I got a 19 in my perception roll.
Your friend is not here.
Great. That's what I wanted to know.
Bunch of women in bonnets, keeping their hair away. There are some men. There's like one guy who's like in charge of it. And, and the women are doing all the hard work.
Okay, yeah.
One of the women looks at you and says, a problem with the order, sir?
No, this is Mr. Bardsley from Bardsley Bank. He's an investor looking around.
Oh, I see. Just a moment. And then she goes and she talks to the man. And the man comes over and greets you guys. Oh, hello, an investor.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Mr. Liam Bardsley. And yours?
Sir.
Sir?
Sir, damn!
No, not
He
sir.
got demoted.
No, he's not. He's Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, can you tell us anything about your kitchens? Where do you bring your food in from?
Oh, of course. We use local London purveyors. We only use the freshest cows.
Okay.
What's happening? Are you
Fresh
okay?
creamery butter, etc., etc.
None of this matters.
Yeah.
That's why I'm laughing.
Zachery is
I
sort
see.
of stepping back in a way and looking around. Is anybody chopping anything up currently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone's chopping up some chives.
No one's accidentally slipped and pricked themselves in a bit of blood?
Not that you can.
Just scream immediately. Just scream really loudly and then hope that one of them cuts themselves.
Well, he's thinking...
You could try to distract some of the people who are...
Chopping with
chopping.
knives.
You could try to surprise them.
That seems kind of mean, but...
It is mean, but you could do it.
You going for a chaotic neutral character?
Oh my god, like, there is a part of Zachery that is, like, that would be the most useful, and I think it's because his survival instinct is going nuts right now. Like, he is trying so hard to make sure, like, that this happens.
they might also just have like aprons and other fabrics that they've been like wiping their hands on a
Yeah,
lot.
he's looking around
So,
at like that sort of a thing too. So
if
he's
we want
keeping the
different
blood thing.
flavor
like-
text.
yeah, he's keeping the blood thing in the back of his head. But he's
Liam's distracting Chef Thompson. They're talking about the free-range chickens and stuff.
and Zachery is going around. Yeah, does Zachery see any like rags that they're wiping their hands on, or are they just kind of wiping their hands on their aprons and things like that?
They've got aprons, and there are rags, but it seems to be mostly food waste on these rags and aprons.
Here's what I want to do. Zachery wants to bump into someone and then, as an apology, offer his handkerchief to them to, like, wipe their brow. He's kind of taking that hint from Liam of, like, oh, it's a sign of good gesture.
Are you trying to get them to cut themselves?
No. He's just trying to get them to, like...
Dab some sweat?
Yeah.
Okay, it is kind of hot in here with the oven and everything.
And as an apology, he goes, oh my god, I'm sorry here. And then... That doesn't make sense.
Fuck!
Fuck!
Yeah, but he thinks that's what gentlemen do.
He does think that is what gentlemen do.
And he could just, I don't know, there's a cup nearby and he accidentally spills it and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, man. If only you had a Dalmatian.
That's true. You could like knock something over and then...
Yes, okay. He's going to do that. He's going to see if there's anything near somebody where he can accidentally elbow it over and then go, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And then...
Onto somebody. And not like onto the counter, but onto somebody.
I could,
So
guess
how-
we'd still get most of the stuff you knocked over rather than DNA.
I'm so just trying to think of something that Zachery would do as Zachery. Because if I had a smooth character, but he's only got a +1 influence.
The blood idea is not a bad
I
idea.
mean, you might just have to scare someone.
Okay, let's go.
Oh.
All right, let's go. He walks behind the people who are chopping things. He is sort of behind someone and he shouts very quickly, "Spider!" And he points.
The lady who you're behind jumps and does prick herself a little bit.
He turns to her and he goes, "Oh my lord, are you all right?"
She seems confused for a moment, and then she looks, and then sees the blood on her, and she panics for a moment.
Here. No need to fret. And he takes out his handkerchief and he's just hold it there like that.
She's cute and mousy and young. She's Zachary's height. She blushes that you gave her a handkerchief, and she holds it against her bleeding finger.
I'm terribly sorry. Are you all right?
She seems rather taken by you.
Well,
Ask her name.
blasted little thing. Well, it seems to have gone away. I'm so sorry. Miss
Anna.
Miss Anna.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you. My name is Zachery. I'm
Oh.
so sorry again about startling you.
Oh, that's good. Did you find the spider?
Yes, I did. He stomps his foot. It's dead now.
Oh, you're so brave.
Thank you. He takes her hand, even though I know that's quite intimate for back then,
Zachery.
and he sort of continues to press down on it.
She blushes really hard.
She's gonna faint.
Yeah, she looks a little woozy.
We want to make sure we staunch the bleeding as soon as possible.
Uh-huh. She nods at you.
He
Ask her last name.
She seems ready to tell you anything.
Yeah.
You might even be able to escort her to the clinic.
He lifts up the handkerchief and goes, "It doesn't look like it's quite going down. You might need to go to the clinic. I can escort you if you wish."
Oh, do you think it's that serious?
Yes. You should never take a knife wound lightly.
Oh, I suppose not.
Just so I know, what is your last name in case they ask?
Whoa.
Summers.
Anna Summers? I love it,
Anna
yeah.
Summers.
Perfect. Anna Summers, all right. If you'll follow me, you can hold on to that. And he sort of curls her finger so that she's clutching it a bit more tightly.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Follow me, he says, and he...
What's going on there, says Chef Thompson.
One of the kitchen staff seems to have cut herself terribly after I spoke to her. There seems to be a spider in your kitchen. I'm going to escort this young lady to the clinic, if that's all right with you.
Oh, is she bleeding?
Yes,
Well, then, of course, get her out of here.
understood. Mr. Bardsley, you may either accompany me or...
I'll accompany you. Liam tips his hat to Mr. Thompson.
After that titillating conversation about where he gets all his veggies.
Liam follows.
They head to the clinic area.
I do hope she'll actually give you that handkerchief back.
Yeah.
She might keep it as a love token.
Why Why the...
You might
Really?
you might have to roll for it to get it back.
Are you serious?
You're cute. She has a crush on you.
The back then times are so complicated. All right.
Ask for her first and last name.
What? That's weird, isn't it? Oh no.
Well, the two guards of the hospital see you two suspicious gentlemen again.
I didn't know that.
Gentlemen, he says.
They spy the bloody handkerchief in her hand, and the one who is not Todd kind of raises an eyebrow at you two and says, "Oh, you were very willing to get into this place, weren't you?
No.
A woman for it."
No, it's nothing like that, says Zachery. We were touring the kitchen and this young woman accidentally cut her finger.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, it is. Isn't that right? He says, looking to her.
Yes.
She seems awfully pale. I think she's lost quite a bit. If she could get in, please.
He doesn't seem happy with you.
After the last stupid thing I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then he opens the door, and Todd also opens the door for you guys.
They walk in.
They don't let Liam in.
Okay.
Mr. Bardsley, I will be just a moment.
No worries. I'll stay out here with these charming gentlemen.
Wonderful. Do be kind to our investor, says Zachery, and he continues to walk in.
Of course.
So he's inside with her. I'm gonna roll perception to look around.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Good, because I didn't think you guys would enter. So I have no writing prepared.
Great.
We already have been in here. Or no, we
You've
already
seen
looked
it.
in, and we already know that who we're looking for isn't in here.
But you
Yeah.
could get like another nurse or a doctor's DNA. That would be the most you might try to get out of being in here.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah.
Or probably not from one of the people who's dying. They'd
No.
be the most convenient, but...
They've got a lot of DNA out and about.
They do, yeah.
Be looking
They
rather...
seem to be all hunters.
be
They
looking,
do seem to be all hunters.
And many of them are on the path to recovery.
Oh.
Okay, so Zachery is walking through.
Oh, nice. Do any of them have, like, their equipment laid out on the table beside them?
Oh, shit.
Like a
Oh,
key?
shit.
You'd have to roll really good not to
Yeah.
get seen taking that.
You
Well,
could, like,
that
bump-
depends on where their stuff is.
Yeah.
There are kind of like hooks on the wall near their beds where their coats are hanging, and many of them have their coats from their work and stuff like that. So this is a place where people who were on a mission and were fighting vampires and werewolves are injured and then taken immediately here. So all their stuff is with them.
Okay.
But a lot of them are wearing it, or they're right next to them, hung on the wall. So you would have to roll incredibly well.
Maybe we could come back in here when we're invisible.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
lot
I like
easier.
that idea.
That would be a lot
Okay,
easier.
so all Zachery really does is observe right now until a doctor or a nurse comes over to help the young woman he's with.
A head nurse comes over to help her. Do you want to try to get your handkerchief back?
Is there any medical supplies nearby? Because what I want to do is just to do a little switcheroo.
There are like towels and things like that.
Okay, good. He grabs a towel before the head nurse comes over, and he sort of says, "May I see your hand again?"
Yes.
He takes the previous handkerchief off, and he's looking at as if he's very interested in the wound, and he goes, "All right, well, it's almost here. You should clutch this one. It's fresh, and it won't cause infection." He says, making it up on the spot.
Oh, you're so knowledgeable.
Well, when one works in the church, one has to be. He smiles, and he kind of pockets the handkerchief.
Her eyes kind of follow the handkerchief. Sad that she doesn't get to keep it, but trusting in your wisdom.
He waves down somebody.
She thinks that's very manly of you. A head nurse comes to see her. He probably explains the situation and then
Yeah,
bid her farewell.
he does. He says, "I leave you in their capable hands. I'm so sorry again, and have a good rest of your day."
Oh, you too, Zachery.
He walks out.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, thank you.
Good
Okay.
recon.
Now you guys have 3 DNA.
Yeah, 3 DNA. Very nice.
3 in
That should be enough for everybody. If one of us is invisible, and then the
Yeah.
other 3, we have DNA. So the last thing that we need would be to know about the jester. So were we going to go to your records room to see if we could find anything out about that? Or did we
Yes.
want to try to go back to, like, where hunters might be?
It's about 4:30 now.
Zachery says, "We need to quickly go to the records.
I see.
Let's go." And he basically just very hurriedly leads him back down.
Okay.
Mhm.
You guys go down to the 2nd floor, I believe it is.
Did they go by Bernard again?
He's actually off duty now. There's someone else,
Aw.
unfortunately.
Disappointed.
He has to have a break sometime.
That's fine.
So the records are actually attached to your accounting/administrative affairs office. So, Zachery, you know that records are for, like, older stuff, but this seems like a current employer. So even less suspicious, you can just go to your desk and look at your file of all the employees of the church.
Okay. And he invites Mr. Bardsley to take a seat across from him.
Mm-hmm.
And he does immediately start flipping through. Should I?
Do a roll.
Yes, I will.
Add your wisdom.
I gotta find my dice. 18.
You've spent the last 30 minutes of your shift writing down all the names of all the women and their occupations.
And then, was there another objective, or are we good?
You gotta leave.
Okay, yeah,
you gotta
basically.
clock out.
Right.
Yeah,
well.
I guess Liam would go speak to the person, Zach's boss, whom he spoke to first. He would exchange usual niceties, say, you'll be receiving a correspondence from me before the week is out. Thank you for your time, etc., etc.
They thank you for your time. They look at Zachery kind of like, you're getting a raise later.
Boy, that would be nice if Amanus wasn't after me.
And now it is your shift and it's time to go home and the evening sun is low in the sky. Bernard is not there. I'm sorry, Zach.
Happens.
But you guys are able to leave through one of the many buildings that Zachery leaves through.
All right.
And you guys leave.
Well, we've got plenty to tell the others.
I should say so. I consider that a relative success. Well done, Zachery.
Well done me. Well done you. You were the stranger there. You managed to duel a knight and get away with it. That's massively impressive.
Well, that's very kind of you to say so.
I didn't know you were such a good fencer.
I had good teachers.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, since I was about 9, I suppose.
9? You could become a hunter. Please don't. Liked what you heard? Let us know by using hashtag #DandiesInDanger over on our Twitter, Insta, Tumblr, and TikTok in the listed links below. We'd love to hear any and all comments, questions, and theories as to where the story might be headed. Want to support us and our lads' adventures more directly? Then please consider clicking on the link and becoming a patron today. For just $1, you can gain access to our longer, uncensored outtakes and blooper reels. For $5, you can have access to exclusive stickers, in-world letters written by and for the lads, poetry by Adrian and Daniel, and original music from the show composed and scored by Chess Albanese. Can't afford to support directly? No problem. Podcasts survive by word of mouth, so if you like what you heard, tell your friends, family, and local graveyard ghosts all about these exciting tales. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Dandies in Danger is written and voiced by Elijah Bergateres as Zachery Wilkos, Cass as Liam Bardsley, Chess Albanese as Daniel Pritchard, and Toast as Adrian Edwards. It is edited by Toast. Original score and music composed by Chess Albanese. It is produced by Dandies team, and made possible by listeners like you.